Hello students, this is Sheikh Yasmin and today I am going to start with a very interesting and important topic of Science 1 that is from 7th chapter Lenses, and today we are going to learn how to draw an image of an object when it is kept at a different distance from the lens. So the topics which I am going to cover today is convex lens. So we will see how the image will form when we will use convex lens and if the object is kept at a different distance. So for doing that, first we need to understand how to draw the convex lens. So let's first learn how to draw the convex lens. So here I am taking a scale. You need to keep all your geometrical instruments with you so that the proper image you will get when you will draw the ray diagram. So first step, how to draw the convex lens. So I am drawing here first principal axis. So to draw a principal axis, I'll use my scale. This is principal axis, okay, and then I'll use the compass. Here is the compass, and I'm going to draw the lens using this compass. So I have taken a particular distance in the compass. I kept this compass at one point and I'm going to draw an arc here. Now note down this point where you had kept the pointer of the compass, this point. This point would be your center of curvature, which is denoted by 2F2. Okay, now without disturbing the distance in the compass, use the pointer on the other side and draw another arc. And note down this point too. This is your again center of curvature, which would be denoted by 2F1. And here is your convex lens. This is your convex lens. Now in this convex lens, first we will mark optical center. So this point would be the optical center. After this, we need to mark or locate the focus point. So to locate the focus point, we need to measure the distance from optical center to the center of curvature. This is the distance from optical center to center of curvature. It is 5.1. So 5.1, we will take half of 5.1. 5.1. So half of 5.1 would be approximately 2.5. So at 2.5 distance, I will mark another point on this side and on this side also at 2.5 distance here. This would be your focus point. So this is your F2 and this is your F1. So whenever you are drawing a ray diagram or whenever you are making the image of an object using a convex lens, so this is the method to draw the convex lens. You will draw the principal axis, you will use the compass, make an arc, same distance, make another arc, your convex lens would be ready. You need to locate optical center. After that, you need to locate your center of curvature, and at middle of optical center and center of curvature, your focus would be there. So this is how you can draw the convex lens. Now let's draw the image when the object is kept at a different position. For example, if I am keeping the object between 2f1, if I am keeping the object at 2f1, if I am keeping the object beyond 2f1, if I am keeping the object at 2f1, if I am keeping the object between 2f1 and f1, if I am keeping the object at f1, if I am keeping the object between optical center and f1. So how does it form the image that we are going to learn? So first I will keep the object at beyond 2f1. I am going to keep the object beyond 2f1. So to draw the object, I'll use my scale here. I'm keeping the object beyond 2f1. This is my object beyond 2f1. Okay, so if the object is kept beyond 2f1, how will it form an image that we will see? So the three rules which we use to draw the ray diagram, out of those three rules, we will use any two rules. We will apply any two rules. So I am using the first rule. If an incident ray is parallel to the principal axis, so here I am drawing an incident ray which is parallel to the principal axis. This is the incident ray. So incident ray is parallel to the principal axis. If an incident ray is parallel to the principal axis, by rule, the refracted ray should pass through focus. So this is the refracted ray which is passing from the focus. So I applied the first rule. Now I will use the second rule. If an incident ray is falling on the optical center, this is the optical center. So if an incident ray is falling towards the optical center, then refracted ray, no refraction will take place. Okay, so light rays will pass through the lens without bending. So here you can see the light rays will pass through without bending. Straight away it will pass through. So this is the refracted ray. Now we need to locate the two refracted rays, the point where the two refracted rays are intersecting. So this is the point where the two refracted rays are intersecting. So this is the point where you will get the image. This is the point where you will get the image from the principal axis. This would be your image. This would be your image. Okay? So see, here the object, when it is kept at 2f1, the image is forming between f2 and 2f2. So we need to describe the image also. First let's write position of object. Position of object. Object I kept beyond 2f1. Okay, now we will describe the image. So let's first write position of image, where image is forming between F2 and 2F2. Image is forming between F2 and 2F2. Okay, let's discuss its size. Size of image. By looking only you can tell that image is smaller than object, or you can measure them also. See, my object is of 2.8 centimeter and image is 2 centimeter. It means image is smaller than object. So I can write the size of image is diminished. If the image is smaller than object, then the size of image would be diminished. Okay, and after that, last one, what would be the nature of image? Nature of image. So see, object is kept on the left side of the lens and image is forming on the right side of the lens. So in this case, real or virtual? It is a real image. Okay, object is kept above the principal axis and image is forming below the principal axis. So it is inverted image. Object could be real or virtual. If the object and image are on the same side, then it would be virtual image. And if an object and image are on the other side of the lens, then it would be real image. Okay, if object and image both are above the principal axis or both are below the principal axis, then it would be erect image. But if one is above and one is below the principal axis, then it would be inverted image. So this is the first case we have done. Okay, so when we will keep the object beyond 2F1, image would form between F2 and 2F2. Now let's take the next case. Now in the next case, I have already drawn a convex lens. Now in the next case, I am keeping the object exactly at 2F1. Exactly at 2F1. In the first case, I had kept the object beyond 2F1. Now I have kept object at 2F1. Now we have to make an image of this object. So I'll apply any two rules out of three. So let's start with the first one. If an incident ray is parallel to the principal axis, then the refracted ray will pass through focus. So here is the focus. So refracted ray will pass through the focus. This is the first rule I applied. Now the second rule, if an incident ray is falling on optical center, towards the optical center, then no refraction will take place and light will pass through the lens without bending. Here. Okay, so this is the point of intersection of the refracted rays, and this is where the image will form. It will form an image here. Now here if you will see, the object is kept at 2F1 and image is forming at 2F2. Object is kept at 2F1 and image is forming at 2F2. Let's describe the image now. First I will write position of object position of object. So I have kept an object at 2f1, so I will write at 2f1. After this, I will write position of image, where the image is forming. So position of image is forming exactly at 2f2. So we will write at 2f2. Then we'll see size of image. Size of image. Okay, so object is exactly of 2.3 centimeter, and here image is also of 2.3 centimeter. So size of image you will write same as object. Image is exactly same as object, same size of an object. Now we will describe nature of image. Nature of image. Okay, object is kept on the left, image is forming on the right of the lens, so it would be real image. Real image. Object is kept above the principal axis and image is forming below the principal axis, so it would be inverted image. Inverted image. So this was the case 2. Okay, now we will see the case 3 now. Case 2 is done. Now we will see case 3. So for case 3, again I have already drawn a convex lens. Now I am going to keep the object between 2f1 and f1. Between 2f1 and f1. Here I am keeping the object. This is my object. Now I am going to draw image of this object. So same way I'll apply the first rule. If an incident ray is parallel to the principal axis, so here would be the incident ray. It is parallel to the principal axis, and if an incident ray is parallel to the principal axis, refracted ray will pass through focus. Refracted ray will pass through focus. This is the refracted ray. Okay, and in second case, second rule, if an incident ray is falling towards the optical center, then the refracted ray, without deviation, no refraction will take place. No refraction will take place. So light will pass through the lens without deviation. Without deviation it will pass through. This would be the refracted ray. Okay, so see, the two rays are intersecting at this point. So this is the point where image will form. We will draw an image. This is an image. Now let's describe the image. First, position of object. Position of object. Where is the object kept? It is kept between 2f1 and f1. So we will write here between 2f1 and f1. Now let's describe the image. So here first I will write position of image. Position of image, where the image is forming. So you can see this image is forming beyond 2f2. So we will write here beyond 2f2. After this, we need to describe its size also, size of image. By looking only you can say that image is bigger than object, or you can measure it also. So we can say the image is magnified. Magnified means it is bigger than object. And after this we will write the nature of image. So nature of image, object is on the left of the lens, image is forming on the right of the lens, so it is real image. Object is above the principal axis, image is below the principal axis, so it is inverted image. Inverted image. So this would be the nature of image. Okay, so we have done the two cases. Now we will move on to the next case. When an object is kept at f1. We'll see how the image will form when an object is kept at focus. That is, if the object is kept at f1. Okay. So what I am going to do here, I am going to draw an object at focus 1. So here is my object which is kept at focus 1. So I need to draw a ray diagram for this to make an image, to draw an image of it. So I'll first apply the first rule. Here let me write the position of the object first. So position of object, it is kept at focus 1. So I have written here at f1. Okay, so let me apply the rule now. The first rule I'll apply: when an incident ray is parallel to the principal axis, refracted ray will pass through focus. So I'll apply that rule. From object, I'll first take an incident ray which is parallel to the principal axis. This is my incident ray. So if an incident ray is parallel to the principal axis, then the refracted ray will pass through focus. So this is my focus, f2 is my focus, so the refracted ray will pass through the focus. This would be my refracted ray. Okay. Now I will apply the second rule. If an incident ray is falling towards the optical center, now see here, this is my second incident ray which is falling towards the optical center. So no refraction will take place and the light will pass through the lens without deviation. Without deviation it will pass through. So here is my second ray. Now if you'll see, these two rays are not intersecting. I'll extend them further. And I'll see whether they are intersecting or not. So here are the two rays, and if you will see, these two rays are not intersecting on the paper. But if I'll extend these two rays further, they will intersect at some point. So that point is, we don't know at what point they are going to intersect. So we will take that position as an infinity. So when we are talking about position of image, because image we are not able to draw on the paper because it will form at a very large distance from the lens. The two rays will intersect somewhere at some point. So I will write the image will form at infinity. At infinity. Okay. And when we are talking about size of image, now see here, image will form at a very large distance from the lens. So as the image will go farther and farther from the lens, the image will becoming bigger and bigger. So it would be highly magnified image. Very big image it will form. Highly magnified image it will form. And when we talk about its nature, now see, object is on the left side of the lens and image will form on the right hand side. So it would be real image. Okay. And object is above the principal axis, and whenever these two rays will intersect and it will form an image, it will form below the principal axis. So the image would be inverted image. Okay. Now let's take the next case. Next case now I am going to keep the object at between F1 and optical center. I'll draw an object. I'll keep the object between F1 and optical center. So this would be my object. Here would be my object between F1 and optical center. Okay. So position of object between F1 and O. So I'll write here between F1 and optical center. Now let's draw the ray diagram. First rule will apply. If an incident ray is parallel to the principal axis, so this is my incident ray which is parallel to the principal axis. So the refracted ray will pass through the focus. Refracted ray will pass through the focus. This is my refracted ray which is passing from the focus. And second rule, if an incident ray is falling towards the optical center, we will take the topmost part of the object. If an incident ray is falling towards the optical center, then the refracted ray, no refraction will take place actually, and the light rays will pass through the lens without bending. This is the refracted ray. Now see students, here the two rays are in the opposite direction. This ray is going in this direction, this ray will go in this direction. It means even on extending these two rays, they will never intersect. They are not going to intersect. Okay, so they will not intersect each other, so they will not form image on this side. So what I will do, I am going to extend these rays behind the lens. So here I am going to extend these rays. I'll extend these rays behind the lens. So here I have extended these rays. I'll extend this ray also. So this ray also I am going to extend further behind the lens. See, I'll extend them behind the lens, and you will find that these two rays are intersecting at one point. So this is the place where your image will form. Here your image will form. This would be your image. Okay, now let's describe now image. First, let's see what is the position of image. Position of image. Image is forming behind the lens. So I will write behind the lens. Then size of image. You can tell, see, this is your image, this is your object. Of course, image is bigger than object, so we can write it as magnified. Image is magnified. And when we have to write its nature, so nature of image, see, object is on the left of the lens and image is also on the left side of the lens. So in this case, image is virtual. It is virtual image. Okay, and object is above the principal axis and image is also above the principal axis. So it is erect image. Okay, now we'll see the last case. Now suppose if I say the object is kept at an infinity. If an object is kept at infinity, then how will it make an image that we are going to show? So first I'll write position of object. Position of object. I am keeping object at infinity. So I have written here at infinity. Now I am going to keep object at infinity, and infinity position I cannot show you on the paper because it is an infinite distance which I cannot show you on the paper. So the light rays coming from that object which is kept at infinity, that only I can show you. So I have told you that whenever an object is at infinity, the light rays coming from that object would be parallel to the principal axis. So suppose a light ray is coming parallel to the principal axis. This is the light ray coming from that object which is parallel to the principal axis. So the refracted ray, by rule, the refracted ray will pass through focus. Incident ray will be coming parallel to the principal axis. Okay. So the refracted ray will pass through focus. Refracted ray will pass through focus. Incident ray will be coming parallel to the principal axis. Parallel to the principal axis, and the refracted ray will be passing from the focus. If an incident ray is coming parallel to the principal axis, see students, whenever object is kept at an infinite distance, light rays coming from it would be parallel to the principal axis. All the light rays would be parallel to this. So if the light rays are parallel to principal axis, refracted ray will pass through focus only. This would be the refracted ray. Now see, all the light rays are intersecting at this point. This is the point where all the light rays are intersecting, and here only the image will form, the point of intersection which is at principal axis. So this would be your image. Now let's describe the image. Let's see where the image is forming. Position of image. Image is forming at focus, that is at f2. At f2. size of image, you can see it is very small. It is a point image, so you will write here point image has formed. And when we are talking about its nature of image, see, object is kept at an infinite distance on the left hand side of the lens and image is forming on the right hand side of the lens. So it is real image, and always remember with real there would be inverted. So real and inverted image will form. Or if you don't write inverted, because it is a point image, point cannot be erect or inverted. So if you don't write it, that's okay. But with real, there should be always inverted image. Okay. So we have seen total 6 cases of the convex lens. First, we have understood how to draw a convex lens. So first we have understood how to draw the convex lens. Then the first case which we have done is when the object is kept beyond 2f1, the image was forming between f2 and 2f2. Then after that we had kept an object exactly at 2f1. Okay, we had kept an object exactly at 2f1. So this is the image when the object is kept at 2f1. The image was forming exactly at 2f2 and of same size as the object. Now when we will take the object towards the lens, that is when it is kept between f1 and 2f1, so the image which is forming is beyond 2f2. Now see students, as we are taking the object closer to the lens, image is forming far from the lens. So when we have kept the object between 2f1 and f1, the image is forming beyond 2f2. Now I will take the object more closer to the lens. Now I am keeping the object at f1. So when I kept object at f1, the image is forming at infinity. Okay. Now if I will keep object more closer to the lens, that is when object will be kept between f1 and O, this is my object, so image will form on the same side of the lens and virtual and erect image will form. And if an object is very far distance from the lens, that is at infinity, then the point image will form on the second side of the lens. So these are the all 6 cases of the convex lens. If you will see, in all the 5 cases, see at f1 real inverted image, between 2f1 and f1 real and inverted image, at 2f1 real and inverted image, beyond 2f1 real and inverted image, at infinity real and inverted image. In all the 5 cases real and inverted image is forming. There is only one case when the object is very close to the lens, that is between optical center and focus 1, virtual and erect image is forming. Okay, so I hope now you can draw the image of an object when it is kept at any distance, and when we are using a convex lens you will be able to draw its image and you will be able to describe its nature also. Thank you.